people claim that the ancient Hebrews and Jews were black people and Jesus was not a white man, many white people come across and say, okay, Jesus was not a white man, but he wasn't a black person either, because he was from the Middle East, and therefore, according to them, he must have looked like Arabs. But this is a fallacy. Just because the modern population of a region looks like X doesn't mean that the ancient inhabitants of that region looked also like X. For example, look at Australia. Are white Australians descended from the ancient Aborigines? Or are white Mexicans descended from the ancient Mayans? Of course not. The Middle East is the most melting pot region of the world. There are black, white, brown, Indian-looking, and Mongoloid-looking people in this region, all of whom claim to be native and indigenous to this region. And for example, in Arabs, there are black, white, and mixed, the so-called brown Arabs, all of whom claim to be the real Arabs. But which of them is the real Arab? The black one, the white one, or the brown one? The same goes for Iran. There are many different ethnic groups in Iran. There are Mongoloid-looking Turkmens, there are Indian-looking Baluch, there are native blacks, there are white-looking Turks, there are mixed-looking Kurds and Lurs. Which of them is the true Iranian? And unlike what the believers of the Indo-European hoax claim, the white-looking people in this region are not descended from the ancient mythical Indo-Europeans. These people are mostly Turks or descended from Turks. For example, here in Iran, up to 40% of people are Turks, and I don't know how many of them are descended from Turks, meaning are related to Turks. And the most white-looking people of Iran are mostly Turks, but there are also Russian, Georgian, and Armenian people too living in this region. And we all know that Turks are not an indigenous people to this region. They came from southern Russia and the Central Asia in recent centuries. And they cannot be an indigenous people to this region. The ancient inhabitants of the ancient peoples of the Middle East were all different types of black people, different groups of black people. Assyrians were a black people, Persians were a black people, Elamites were a black people, and Arabs, yes, were a black people. That's why you see Assyrians have depicted themselves with curly hair, curly beard, and dreadlocks. That's why you see Persians have depicted themselves with curly hair and curly beard. And even there are many wall paintings found in Susa in which Persians have depicted themselves with black skin, have painted themselves with black skin. So therefore, Persians were black people, not a so-called Indo-European. And I believe that Persians, Assyrians, Arabs, and all of the ancient inhabitants of the Middle East were an Ethiopian type of people, the so-called Semites, an Ethiopian type of people. People like the Somalis, like Ethiopians, like Eritreans, like Djiboutis, like dark-skinned Yemenis. You know, they weren't a white people. Why? Because the temperature here in this city goes up to 50 degrees Celsius in summers with a high intensity and a UV index of 12. White people cannot endure this heat. They cannot tolerate this heat. So they cannot be indigenous to this region. Because we semi-white looking people cannot stand this heat. We cannot go outside too much in summers. But how can white people be indigenous to this region? And
all right then. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah Barakatah. Hey, welcome to another Bring It Out TV. Shalom, brother Dion. Shalom, brother Dion.
Shalom, huh?
How you doing today, brother?
Doing well, doing well.
All praise,
beat
man,
up,
all
but
praise. Say it again.
I said a little beat up, but I'm doing well.
Hey man, that's what captivity do to you, brother.
God.
It won't be slavery if it didn't beat you up, brother.
You ain't lying.
It won't be slavery, man. This Arab brother in Arab, man, he Armenian, man, he was breaking down his understanding of how these people over in Israel cannot be the citizens of that land. And he was talking about how to get in summertime. Shalom, brother. What's going on, brother?
Hey, shalom.
What's going on?
Very much, brother.
Kind. All praises. So the brother was saying, the brother over there in Iran, he's saying that the people over that land cannot be the people because they cannot endure the sun.
Hey, shalom. Lucky.
Shalom.
I got an echo. I'm gonna leave right back.
Yeah, call right back in, brother. I got echo.
Negative.
Is that me? Hold on, let me see. Can I just that? Maybe that's me. Hold on, let me see something. Let's check these settings right. Make sure I got it on the right. Oh, that's probably what it is right there. Check. That's better?
I never heard it.
Oh, you never heard it? Let's see. That's better? Let's see. Check. Oh, do I? I'll have a YouTube app open. Let's see. Check. Still, is it still echoing? Yeah, I'm still getting echo. Brother Michael, can you hear me?
God, yeah, it's still echo.
Okay, hold on. Let me. Y'all bear with me. Yeah, let's see. Audio, mic. Yeah. Anyone of y'all got a YouTube page open?
Nah, that why I went out to close that.
Okay,
Not over here.
Let me see. Microphone a bit. Well. Check. Why is I getting an echo? 15 before. Check, 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 check. Do y'all hear echo still? They hear the echo.
Con.
Check, check. Why is I'm getting the echo? Check. An echo for some reason. Okay. Oh, brother Phoenix said Dion sends the echo. Dion,
Dion, what?
it say Dion. Call back in, Dion. Check, check. Yep, that's it. Can y'all hear me?
Con.
Yeah, that was it. It was coming from brother Dion. I go, brother Feeney is being the technical guy, man. What are you doing over there, guy?
That's right.
Shalom, brother Feeney.
Shalom.
How you
Shalom,
feeling,
Ma.
brother?
I'm making it. Can't complain. Shalom, man.
Yeah, that was the issue. Brother Dion was sending that echo, man. Water, brother. So we gonna get into there's a lot be going on with Israel, man. First of all, we're gonna say fair use. And if you got an opportunity, hey man, hit that like button, share the contents, man, and subscribe, man. So if you have not subscribed to the channel yet, subscribe, man. We gonna get into this thing about the Jewish divide, man. It's a controversy surrounding real Jews, and the reason why I titled that is because we got a couple of videos to show that they come and they attacking so-called black people, and we trying to figure out why is they just coming at people of color because of this war that's going on in Palestine, right? And so we gonna go into it, man. Brother Dion, I know you sent a video earlier about IUSPK, man. I didn't get a chance to look at what Brother Phineas sent. Would y'all like to respond on what they was going on? Huh? It's echoing. Okay. I don't know why.
Brother D, it might be you because it's picking up your TV, maybe.
Check. That's it. Okay, so Brother Dion sent a video on a group chat earlier about this Palestinian woman crashing her car into IUSPK building, and I know you sent something after that, Brother Phineas. Would you want to expound on what you guys found about what happened on our brothers in IUSPK?
Now I seen a little of what Brother Dion sent, but it was like a overseas news source, and they kind of juiced it a little bit, not knowing. And I just sent the when it actually happened in ISUPK, filming and showing what happened. But a woman did run into their school. Evidently, a woman ran into the school, tried to hit the school. That's pretty much all I got from it. They say it was it was a terrorist attack. Well, she say that's what they say. She said that she did it because of the killing and stuff she seen going on, and they probably had that star in that building, and they might have thought it was some kind of synagogue, and so she went in there and ran in there. But that's about the gist of what unless you look at the police report or something like that. But I don't even know where they got the mugshot from in that other video, and they had pictures of the FBI and all this stuff. And with the ISUPK video, they just had the tow truck out there, towing away the car, and the woman was talking to the police. She wasn't even in handcuffs at the moment. They were just getting her statement and whatnot. But I think it was some propaganda going with the overseas. You know, it's. I think I seen New York Post may have had something on it, but besides that, nobody else really even reported. I ain't see like ISUPK on the news talking about it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it didn't get no coverage over here, and then they just spent it into like this woman had bombs attached to her, and they had to bring out the bomb dogs and all of this stuff. And it was looking crazy from the other video, but I ain't get too far deep into it because I just wanted to give the original source. But yeah, something did happen though, regardless. So it wasn't really like no correction or nothing. It was just funny how the news did that, to see the news. And I don't even know if it's news because it was a overseas news channel. So, on YouTube, any of us can put a little news like that. What's that dude name? Got that African diaspora?
Yeah, I just know about African diaspora.
Yeah. That brother there, he can look like a news channel though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But he just reporting social media stuff,
Mm-hmm.
But I yield.
Yeah. All right, we were just talking about that earlier, man. With this social media the way it is, everybody got something to say, man. And sometimes we take it as the truth, man, as the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So, can one of y'all brothers give me Psalms 133 and verse 1 real quick, and the other brother we can get into Acts 4 and 23 to 28, and we're gonna go and I'm gonna go with the first video gonna be with the brother, his name is Michael. I think it's Michael Rappaport. I think that's his name. Yeah, Michael Rappaport. He's a famous, well, not really famous, but semi-famous comedian. He paid on Friday. When Ice Cube came to the next Friday, next when Ice Cube came to the door, and he was like, can I speak to the owner of the house? And he was looking at Ice Cube, said, "What, you a rapper? I mean, are you a football player? You can't own this house." He was making a little racist jokes and Friday after next, but I'm sure you guys, once y'all see the video, you know who the guy is. But he has something to say, and he has something to say about black and brown people. And we're gonna get into it, right? So give me Psalms 130. Go ahead.
Was he married to a sister?
He is. Well, I don't know if they still married, but I know he was married to a sister.
Yeah.
And then I think he married. I think he was dating old girl from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. What was the last one came on there? What was the one of the she done out famous all of them at this point, but start with an M, man. I forget the sister name. What's the sister who was she tried to do what Nene did. She was trying to be, was it Marla? Yeah, Marla. I think he was dating her for a minute, right? So give me that in Psalm 133 and verse 1. And then give me that Acts real quick. The Acts 4 and verse Acts 4:23. Then we'll get into the videos.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 133, verse 1. Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. It is like the precious ornament upon the head that ran down upon the beard, even Aaron's beard. It went down to the skirts of his garment, as the dew of Hermon, and as the dew that descended upon the mountains of Zion. For there the Lord commanded the blessing, even life forevermore.
So it's good and pleasant for brothers to dwell in unity, right? Because what we see here in the Western society, that brothers don't have unity, right? We don't have unity, and a lot of stuff that's happening to us is because of that very reason, because we don't have unity, right? Shalom, brother Dixon. Shalom, brother Dixon. All right, and so we don't have unity. And so this is the reason why a lot of things people can say to us and there's no repercussion. There's no repercussion, right? So without further ado, man, give me that in Acts 4:23-28. And then one of y'all brothers give me that in Psalms real quick. Psalms 2:1-4. Then we're gonna get into the video.
You said Acts 4:23?
Okay.
Acts 4 verse 23.
Uh-huh.
It says, and being let go, they went to their own company and reported all that the chief priests and elders had said unto them. And when they heard that, they lifted up their voice to God with one accord and said, Lord, thou art God, which has made heaven and earth and the sea and all that is in them, and all that in them is, who by the mouth of thy servant David has said, why did the heathen rage and the people imagine vain things? The kings of the earth stood up, and the rulers were gathered together against the Lord and against his Christ. For of a truth against thy holy child Jesus, whom thou hast anointed, both Herod and Pontius Pilate, and the Gentiles, and the people of Israel were gathered together, for to do whatsoever thy hand and thy counsel determined before to be done.
To be done. And so, reason why I pulled that, right, is because of it's a misnomer that only Israel killed Christ or had something to do with Christ. This was a coming together moment to things to be done to our Lord and Savior. But the first part of that is what really caught my eye. Well, we already knew that precept, but the first part of that caught my eye. Said, being let go, they went to their own company and reported all that the chief priest and elder had said unto them. And when they heard that, they lift up their voice to God with one accord and said, Lord, thou art God, which has made heaven and earth and the sea and all that in them is, who by the mouth of thy servant David has said, why did the heathen rage? And so, and this is the thing about Israel, right? Israel always wanna come together moment against their own people. That has always been an MO about Israel, right? And so we have people within our community or will side with people like this dude Michael Rappaport, right? They'll side with him, even though when I play the video, y'all gonna see what he's saying and how he's saying it, right? And so why are the heathen raging, right? When we look at that and we glean from what our forefathers said, and then we said, now all of a sudden we racist. It's not about being racist, right? It's about speaking truth to power. When we see these misnomers, when we see things are happening within our community, we say nothing about it because we are afraid to be labeled, right? We are afraid to be labeled anti-Semitic. We are afraid to be labeled, homophobic. All these things are only put in our way so we won't say nothing, right? We are not anti-Semitic, right? We are not anti-Semitic, right? We're not talking against the Jewish people, right? Even though that's not what the word Semitic is. I know the new definition, right? I understand. We're not, we are not against LBG, right? We're not against that. We're against the act. We're not against the person. So because we have these stands doesn't mean that we are these labels, right? So yes, our ancestors did that. Partly why we are a cursed people, for everyone is cursed who hang from a tree. That come from T.I. Palm prior. Current. Yeah, current. So why do the heathen rage? Give me that in real quick in Psalms 2:1. Let's see what they was quoting and read down to verse 4. Psalms 2:1-4, and then we're gonna get into the video. Pryor said we have to learn to stop explaining why we are against sin. Okay, okay, brother. Not a problem, man. You know what I mean? Not a problem. All right. But for our people that's looking in from the outside looking in, right? This is our job. This is our job, but we got to understand what sin is, right? Here in America, the scripture says that he that is spiritual restores such a one with a spirit of meekness and kindness. Consider thyself. Because at some junction, we was looking for that same grace. Right? Oh, Shalaki, sister. My bad, sister. So I get you, sister. All right, okay. So let's get that in Psalms 2:1-4.
God, it's the book of Psalms, chapter 2, verse 1. Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh. The Lord shall have them in derision.
Okay. So this is what they was quoting. Let me get that precept real quick, and then we're gonna get into the video. And it says, why do the heathen rage and the people imagine vain things? Watch this. The king of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointing, saying, let us break their bands as under and cast away their cords from us. And we see that the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointing, saith, let us break their bands as under and cast away their cords from us. And so we understand that when you take on the spirit of Christ, you will have to go through persecution. You will get your bands broke. That's why I say there. That's why Christ said, remember he asked them, can you drink of the cup that I drink of? Right? When you get into that Mark 10, say, can you drink the cup that I drink of? They say, yes, we can drink the cup that you can say. He said, you will indeed drink of the cup that I drink of, because anybody that pick up that cross gonna have to go through affliction. And so we have to be able to take this stuff with a grain of salt, right? We can't always be caught up in our feelings when people say talk against us, right? So let's get into the video.
We don't have no action.
All right. I don't know. I can hear.
Oh, dropped out. See when he gets back on. And I think we talked a little earlier about this earlier today with about this Rappaport dude and him wanting, I don't want to speak too much on it, but him wanting or the Jews expecting us, the Jewish expecting us, or the little hats expecting blacks to side with them rather than take side with Palestine. And so a lot of them get upset about that, being how we've been entangled. I know he probably gonna come from a different angle, but I see that there has been a lot of we have been entangled with these folks, whether they've been taking advantage of us or not. They probably see it different, you know. Especially they're gonna see it different on the opposite end. They're not gonna think that you got that echo. Is it your TV too high, Aqua?
My TV is off.
So it's just the phone doing that?
I guess my mother-in-law's TV is on in another room, but she ain't got it on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's a bad echo.
Yes, it's about the same volume.
Okay, but check this out.
Good.
I can't hear it. But I was gonna ask you, did you see that video I sent you from that lady, the Palestinian government lady, talking about the problem that they have in Palestine today is the youth in America, the black youth in America.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like
Even
that blew me there. I'm like, how is that even possible unless there's some kind of link that they not talking about? So I yield.
Yeah, I seen that with and that's probably what you just have to do. I'm just gonna come in, you know, make a statement and then mute out. But I did see that, and then I seen when I watched yours, I seen it again on that same dude, that African diaspora dude. Well, he and it was a few years ago. This ain't even recent. It was a few years ago that she said that, and they in Atlanta. She's stationed in Atlanta. But yeah, she didn't give the details on it though. But she did specifically say that, man, and that should be brought back up if the conversation that's trying to be had here, with this dude. He needs to see that video. He needs to see that video where that lady said that the black youth is the most dangerous thing to the little hat community. So that's a great point. Go ahead, Doc. You had something?
No, so like she got some pull. She sit on the council. It was the Israeli some council that they had. Like you said, it was about 6 years ago that she made that statement. Yeah, but I know exactly who you're talking. I was just looking at that video today. But
Yeah.
That's like it. I didn't realize it was that long ago. 6 years? Wow.
I went and actually pulled up the council. It's like over an hour long. Probably like an hour 10 minutes. And that's where they grabbed it from. And on that one, it was like it was posted 6 years ago.
Yeah. So, you know, so it's kind of on both sides. People have different opinions. We talking about that Black Lives Matter. That's funded by who? You see what I'm saying? Civil rights movement was funded by who? So that, you know, even though, you know, we have our differences and gripes about these certain situations and how they moved and it didn't help us and it wasn't for us, but from the other side, they can say, you know, well, hey man, we don't pour, you know, billions of dollars into y'all, man. Trying to help y'all do this and help y'all do that and da-da-da-da-da-woo-woo. But I can see, you know, like I say, you know, sometimes I just play advocate on certain things, but I can see, you know, how they can get in their feelings and feel a certain kind of way. And I see how we, you know, how we see the atrocities and see certain things going on. And it gives us a remembrance of, you know, what our forefathers went through. Where this stuff is just being taken, man. I seen one video where these jokers it's a little hat in these folk backyard done moved into their house. And the Palestinian folks like, hey man, you can't just take our house. You can't just move in our house. And he was like, man, you know, somebody gonna do it anyway. if you know y'all you gonna have to evac, and somebody gonna be in your house. So you might as well go ahead and let me get it now while y'all going back. But that's what's going on there, man. People and not just them, man. The same stuff happened to the Native Americans. Same thing. This is what happens. I'm telling Ock, man. Even in the text when we going into, we went over Joshua 7 and went over Joshua. We went through a little Joshua and getting into the promised land and so forth. But that's what that promise. That's what that was. When we were going into that promised land, we was going in there to slaughter them folks. We weren't going in there, we weren't telling them, hey man, y'all need to evac Gaza in the next 30 days. Nah, man, we went in there, we peeped the land out, and then we went in there and destroyed those people and took that land from the Hittites and the Jebusites and all these other nations that were there. That's part of it. You can't do it. You can't do it no other way. There's no other way to do that. And even when Christ returns, jokers is gonna get murdered in that land. You gonna get up out of there.
Huh.
Did anybody do a search and rescue for somebody sent out a SOS? But that's part of the process. I was telling him too. I seen a clip with some of them veterans that were from those battles in the 50s. You seen that? Them battles from the 50s, and they them little ass was saying, man, yeah, man, we was murdering them people when we weren't just asking them to leave. We murdered them out of that land.
Yeah. Shalaki.
Go ahead, bro.
I had seen a map before the establishment of the so-called community, but the Palestinian was over there first, I guess, and they showed the map. It was green. Palestinian over time after the Jewish community became a nation in 48, it started shrinking, and it shrinked all the way down to that little strip. But it's just amazing. Benjamin, the president over there.
Netanyahu or something. Yeah,
he said he ain't stopping, man.
Yeah, I think they done reached that point. Yeah.
And it's just amazing, Esau standing by while Amalek beat the brakes off Ishmael. But yeah.
And that's just that's how this thing. And like I said, when we went over that little history, it was, and nobody was, so nobody was really trying to deal with them folks. And eventually just had to give them something. And they ended up giving them, saying, the British ended up, saying that they can have, write some treaty up saying that they can have that land back or whatever. But yeah, like you said, man, you pulled those folks were there first. But like I said, man, that ain't that's not how it works, man.
That's right.
That's not how it works out here. They don't care who was there first. They don't care who built whatever. We weren't here first. They weren't here first here. They weren't here first, period. They weren't nowhere first. But it's about going in and conquering, taking them folks out, man. Erasing their history, erasing their culture, and then you following suit. And nobody's gonna stop. It's not gonna stop on the other end either. With on Ishmael's side, he's not gonna stop. So it's we can talk all day about whether it's what's wrong or right, but just war, man. It's war. They
So,
going to war or some people they know they can dog out.
But
Yeah.
Shalaki, I was just looking at some stuff today, man. Like 8 countries don't pull their ambassadors out of Israel. Because at this point they looking at it like, man, this, this straight up genocide. Y'all ain't even giving these folks a break. To move, man. And it's like we understand what y'all trying to do, but y'all lumping everybody up as one. You see what I'm saying?
And
It cry you.
it's hard to, but think about what was done.
Yeah.
It's hard to, what do? You don't know who is who. You don't know who's who, but some folks that came in, shot some missiles and cut off babies and cut off kids' heads and children's head and raped women and took women, whatever. That's what they saying. It could be propaganda, whatever. People seeing crazy stuff too on these Twitter videos and so forth. But even if they only did that to 50 people, it's gonna anger a nation, man. You know what I'm saying? Imagine 50 of us got done like that at the same time. Where imagine some Klansmen came in and took 50 black people and skinned them and lynched them in modern day time. It only took 50. And say we had the military, or we had the gunpowder. We're gonna be ready to shoot everything that come, everything. We're not gonna be asking too many questions, man. Anything that's coming into that neighborhood without some melanin in it, Joker's gonna be ready to get them up out of there.
God.
And even to go back to that sister ramming that car into that building, that's some intense anger, that she has on the other side, where they trying to war with each other here. And you ain't gonna be able to mend that. Like, how you get back to the point? Go ahead, brother.
I was just gonna say, man, you just that symbol alone sent her into a rage. She saw red. They threw red all on the ISUPK sign and just went ham. Just that type of just that trigger is enough to, these folk will kill themselves for that cause, for Allah. They will go ham for Allah, bro. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was about to say, how can you see that? How can you mend that? How can you have them walking together hand in hand? How do you get to the point of having them, the little hats and the Palestinians, doing a parade together, marching together, hugging each other, loving each other, and saying, yeah, you know what, we gonna live together on this thing. How do you get to that point from where we at now? That's just hard to see that that actually happened. And there's some like I was saying, man, there's some rage in that thing, man. And they don't, like I say that, for that deity, man, we was talking about that in class, man. For that deity, them folks will do it. And they'll kill themselves. They'll hurt themselves to accomplish that mission. But I don't know. I think I might be out of here.
Yeah, I think she said they kicked them off. They got rid of him.
Yeah, he was in here for the start some mess, man.
Yeah, we might be next. Real, but I was gonna bring something out. Though,
Go ahead, bro.
from that Babylon, 10 book 2, page 84. And the read second paragraph saying in the year 65 BC, the Roman armies under General Pompey captured Jerusalem in 70 AD. General Vespasian and his son Titus put an end to the Jewish state with great slaughter. During the period of the military governors of Palestine, many outrages and atrocity was committed against the residue of the people. During the period from Pompey to Julius, it has been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa, fleeing from Roman persecution and slavery. The slave market was full of black Jewish slaves. But it's just amazing, what we get, today. That Deuteronomy 28 and 64. But it's always the opposite of what's right. You got good and evil, and you got Christ and Antichrist. You got the real Jews, and you got the so-called Jewish man. Revelation 2 and 9. That red rain all day. But I yield though.
And even when you just read that, once we got up out of there, these people are in this land. It's unoccupied. People come in. People, once those people get evacuated, other people come in, start using the land, start making it home, and we can say some people were there 2,000 years. They family don't know nothing else. They don't know nothing else. So they've made that claim, that stake, but at the end of the day, the only thing is yours is what you can protect. If you can't protect it, it's not yours, man. Anybody can auction this stuff off, and they just try to put in these little democracy and these little treaties and so forth to try to make it look like, they civilized and they want to do what's right. But at the end of the day, they'll take it if they have to. And just like when those towers went down. When those towers went down, jokers were enraged. Jokers were enraged. Americans were enraged. Black and white. And, like I said, I think I seen like the 11,000 people that died already over there in Gaza. I think it's like 11,000.
Yeah.
Huh?
I said, yeah, at this point, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know how many died in 9/11, but with that came a great wrath. America, we went to war on that incident to fight terror. And like I say, man, it's all a game, because a lot of these terrorists have been, a lot of these countries, like, I feel like America played both sides. I think a lot of these terrorist groups are funded by certain governments. Our government, I want to say this just was conspiracy. Don't hold me to that.
Hey, Salakia.
Go ahead, brother.
They were comparing the two. It's funny that you said that about 9/11, because it supposed to been with Al Qaeda, but these folk destroyed. They swung on Iraq. Them folk had nothing to do with it. Come to find out, it wasn't no weapons of mass destruction. But this was a way for us to get over there in a way, to take care of that little business while we, saying about Al Qaeda. And the same thing with Israel and Gaza. You know, Benjamin, he finna seal it up once and for all. That's what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
Keep saying Hamas, but man, it seems like you dumping on everybody.
Yeah.
Like you said, who is who? So everybody gonna get the business.
And that's why you really can't, it's dangerous to even try to take sides in it. Because Negroes are gonna be the last one to know. They're gonna have to make a movie before we actually know what's going on. You know, and we ain't gonna believe the movie. But it's hard to take that because you don't know. You know, for all we know, man, them folks could have hired Hamas to do that. They could have hired them to do that. It's just casualties of war. Yeah, y'all come over here, y'all make this attack happen, boom, 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 and then I can wipe y'all. I can finally get y'all up out of Israel. We both can't be here. It can't be Islam and Judaism. We can finally get y'all out of here. We can build this third temple. I can have my name sealed in history forever. You know. And I was really like what they did. You know, it's not light. I'm not saying it's light, but it's, you know, it could have easily been handled. Like I say, they ain't killed no 11,000 people. You had 11,000 folks you done killed. And missiles everywhere. But that's what I'm saying, man. These jokers, how you just get missiles? You know, how you just getting missiles? I was even talking about that with drugs. How's a Negro getting, you know, all these drugs in the country? How he getting $1 million worth of drugs every week?
Spike One said, but I never seen a black man fly a plane.
That's what I'm saying. The government's involved. So you don't know whose side really. We don't know. You know, Secret Service ops and is certain militias that's hired militias. Man, you know, how do you folks walking around with sandals and rocket launchers? That don't even make no sense. Somebody dropping them weapons off. Ain't no manufacturing plant out there that's making vehicles. How these jokers got armored Toyotas with doing Gatling guns on the top of them?
Is he doing that? I mean,
where are they getting that from?
I mean,
hey, you figured out it's funny, cause you know, even when they left Afghanistan, you know, it's real funny how you leave a place and you leave all your weaponry behind.
Come on now.
Hummers, RPG, like yeah. But
listen, Shalaki, Shalom, brother LA's, are you here?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we hear.
Man, they done back in Atlanta, scrambling for a straveler, brother.
Shalaki.
Man, it knocked me off the internet. I couldn't do nothing, brother. I was frozen tired, brother.
Wow.
Boy, the ones that knocked me off, man. I'm disconnected. TVs and everything over here, brother. Hey, well, go ahead, man. Let me try to get these videos back.
Yeah.
Hey, Shalaki, I'm sorry, and I want to get one point off before y'all get started. Mike was just talking. I mean, y'all was just talking about how they left that equipment and all of that. When I was in Desert Storm, half of the equipment that those Saudis had, they bought from us like 2 or 3 years prior, and it had the same paint that we had. Only difference was we had a number and a unit on the back of ours, and it ended up as a result of that, we had 100 friendly deaths because of misidentification.
Wow.
Like you.
And I was going to hit that same point. I think my dad was telling me in Vietnam, though, they blew up everything. And he said he had to stay back and kill the dogs. They had like team dogs or whatever. They wouldn't even let him take the dogs back. He was the last one, and he had to kill all the pets, all the animals that they had. I guess so. He said so they wouldn't run wild or whatever. But I was like, man, they even killed the dogs back then. But now, yeah, they selling these weapons to these other folks. Not only that, but training them. But I you.
Yeah, and Shalakia family, man, the Water Brothers, man, for when one man down, the next man step up, man. All praises to that thing, man. And yeah, man. So you right, man. It's like and I kind of was kind of listening from off a phone, man. How we don't, we don't really understand the magnitude of what's going on. Cause ain't nothing, I mean nothing what it seems to be, man. So I'm gonna get into the video, man, before they shut me down again. Before they shut it down again, man. And this is what I'm saying. This is nothing like this all over the place. So I don't know why would you attack me, but here you go.
Friends, my Jewish brothers and sisters, stand tall.
Hold on.
Stand.
Hold on. Can y'all hear that?
Huh.
Did y'all hear that? You said Khan?
Con.
All right, Khan. All right.
Tall. Do not let this fear, this sadness, this anxiety, and this dread overwhelm you. Draw strength from your family, from your friends, from your ancestors, and the worldwide bond that we share that has always put the battery in your back. We're used to being looked at as different because that's what we are. We are different, and that's a good thing. I know that Jews are looked at as weak, but we're stronger than you can imagine. That's why you hurl propaganda bullshit that we control all the money, we control the media, because it's plausible. It's plausible because we're just that good. Smart, compassionate, moral, and strong people. And we need to stand taller than ever against all those sick, dumb, uneducated, black tar in their blood fucks who hate Jews because they ain't. You hate us because you ain't us. It's always been hurled our way. Hate, prejudice has always been hurled our way.
You up?
Khan, man, I'm talking, I'm on mute. Boy, I'm all over the place today, brother. And so yeah, Khan, T.I. Pryor, our ancestors went through it. We gonna continue to keep going through it until we get to Christ redeem us, man. And so he said that black tar blood, like he said, it was such disdain, man. And he said that they hate us because they ain't us. Does that sound familiar? Right? So, Sister Alicia, welcome back, brother. All praises to the Most High. So he said they hate us because they ain't us. And see, this is the thing about when we hear this stuff coming from small hats. We call them small hats over here, or the ish people, right? Because sometimes we fall asleep when it comes to historical facts. We fall asleep when it comes to historical fact. Let's get a historical fact about the Jews. Wait a minute, let me pull this up real quick. Had all my darn notes. Hey, give me that Acts 13:1 real quick. I'm gonna pull something up real quick. Give me Acts 13:1, and we just gonna prove. I'm gonna put it up on. Let me pull it up on the screen. Let me go back and get the Bible. Get this Bible back. Let's get Acts 13:1, and we do this. And this is why IUIC always go into that skin doctrine, is because a lot of times we have amnesia when it comes to historical facts, right? We think, and that's why I played that video earlier when the Iranian brother was saying, look, man, because that's the color of these people today, he said Jerusalem, Palestine is a mixed multitude of people right now. He said, but the ancient people of those times was all dark-skinned people, not just Israel. And we got to revisit that Esau thing too, man. We got to revisit that, right? But we'll get into that another date, right? Another time. But let's get to Acts 13:1. I'm gonna pull it up on the I'll pull it up on the blue letter as well. And then I'm gonna pull it up. Matter of fact, let me do this. Hold on, brothers. Give me 1 sec. I gotta get my stuff back in order. Okay. Shalaki. All right, let me share my screen. Shalaki family for the. I'm gonna stop sharing here for a minute, and I'm gonna get the screen real quick because we have to sometimes have to make clarification of this because of they hate us because they ain't us, right? And that's a misnomer, right? Okay, hold on. All right, somebody give me Acts 13 and verse 1. Pull up the blue letter as well. Acts 13 and 1. Put up in the blue letter as well, just to give some context, and then we gonna see what a Jew is, right? So give me that Acts 13 and verse 1, one of y'all brothers.
Con, it's the book of Acts, chapter 13, verse 1.
Uh,
Now there were in the church that was at Antioch certain prophets and teachers, as Barnabas and Simeon, that was called Niger, and Lucius of Cyrene, and Manaam, which had been brought up with Herod the Tetrarch, and Saul.
and so that word Niger right there, like, cause I don't heard brothers say, well, that don't say nigger, that say Niger. But let's see. I'm first gonna pull up in the blue letter, right? I'm pull up in the blue letter. Let's see what that means. Acts 13 and 1. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen. I'm gonna share the blue letter with you, and then we gonna get into who these people were and how history done been altered, right? It done been altered, and so let's see. Let me share my screen again. I'm gonna get the blue letter. Okay, I'm sharing my blue letter with me right here. And see right here, it says, now there was in the church of Antioch certain prophets and teachers as Barnabas and Simeon. Let's see what those people were right there. That were as Barnabas. Let's look up that. Let's look up Barnabas right here. First of all, before I do that, let's look at the word Niger. I'm gonna look at that first. That word Niger. That was called Niger. Right? Now watch how they pronounce it. All right, let's see. And see, this is just for those who don't know. I know most people on the panel know. I know the brothers on the panel know, but for those that's newcomers that might not know. See right there? Okay. Called Shalakia. My bad. I came out of it. Let's see. Church Antioch call nigger. There we go. So let's see what that word is.
Strong's G 3526. Niger. Niger.
It is nigger. Nigger. Right? It's of Latin origin. Watch here. Right here. What's the meaning? Where the meaning at? Right here. See, Latin origin, black, nigger, and Christian. Nigger. So the origin of that word is just mean black. Black, right? That's what the origin of the word nigger mean, black. That's what it means. It's a Latin origin, and the word is nigger, right? And so let's get that in Acts 4 real quick. Let me stop sharing this and let's get that in Acts. I'm gonna show you who let me show you. Matter of fact, while I still got the blue letters, I want to go to one more thing to show you who these folks was. And then I'll go to Acts 4 real quick. Okay, that's Acts 13 and 1. That again, and then let's go to Barnabas. And I'm gonna go to Simeon too. See, because they was called black. They was called black. Let's see who Barnabas is. See, the surname of Joseph, or Joseph, a Levite. Okay. So Simeon was a Levite of the tribe of Israel. He was one of the tribe of Israel, the priesthood. So Barnabas was a Levite. He was a Levite. Let's see who Simeon is. Because the blue letter is telling me everything I need to know. I'm about to go to the text. All praises. Just show me what text it was. So he was a Levite. Order to Acts 4. Okay, and let's see who Simeon was. Let's get the name Simeon. Simeon, let's see where it's used at. Right here. Okay, it says, let's go. It says, right here. It says, the name of the 5 Israelites, Simeon. That's to be talking. We know one of them, Simeon. Watch this. Let's go a little farther down, see what else that word is used at. Right here. See? Peter, Simeon, surname Niger, one of the teachers at the church of Antioch. Watch number 5. Peter, the apostle. Acts 15 and 14. Simeon. It's spelled different, but look at number 4. Spelled the same way. Simeon. So who was that Simeon in Acts 13 and 1? That was Peter. Peter, Paul, Christ's disciple. So these people was people of color. They was called black. It was called black. And just ironic, they was calling us the same word, nigger, right? I don't know. Is it a coincidence? I don't know. Y'all be the judge, right? So it's the same origin in language. Simeon was called a nigger, and also Barnabas, and they was all Israelites. So, and even Dr. Michael Brown said that it was no white Jews in the first century. Take it with a grain of salt, but that's y'all savior, right? That is y'all savior, right? So let's y'all gotta shalak me. I gotta pull these videos up again, man, because they tried to scramble me up, man. Brother Phineas, take over for 1 second. Let me pull up this other video, brother. Shalakia. Still there, Brother Phineas?
Con, I'm here.
The water, brother. Just say something for real quick, man. I'm gonna grab this other video, man. I had to shut my whole thing down. My bad, family.
No, you good. You good. But I was, just to speak on what transpired in the video.
Go ahead.
I don't know. I don't know if he attacking black people. He was saying the blood that his enemies, those that have black tar in their blood, and he got a little he married to that sister. He got a little seasoning. He done got sprinkled with a little seasoning. So he gotta talk like us a little bit, man. In our, I can't even say in our movies. I almost slipped up and said in our movies, but it's not our movies. You know what I'm saying? You may thought you hired that Joker, but he plugged in with one of the producers, man. Well, well, you got to put him in there anyway. Well, he pretty much probably just overseeing, watching, making sure everything going straight, and the money ain't getting messed over. But
yeah, kind. And I'm gonna give y'all a backdrop on what was going on. It was like 3 sisters who was supporting Palestine. Three so-called African American sisters was supporting Palestine, and this is what all they was really saying was that the atrocity that goes on in Palestine have to carry the same weight. You know what I mean? We put a lot of emphasis on what's going on in Israel, but but we want to shine on the Palestinian people, and they was kind of coming into the defense of the Palestinian people, and that's what we caused that remark from him about the whole tar blood thing. He was really referring to them sisters, and the whole comment was about the sisters. If you go read,
oh, so he was addressing those sisters.
You're right. He was addressing those sisters, kind of.
Okay, I got you.
Okay. So here go another one with and we're gonna go into this too. I'll just let it play. I'll let it play. Let's get it real quick. Here we go.
I'm John Abba. If you've been watching the news, you would see that there's currently a war between Israel and Gaza military group Hamas, causing an uproar for many across the world, including back here in the US. Amy Schumer, who is Jewish, is currently receiving backlash for one of her social media posts that was released on her Instagram story. Schumer will post a meme criticizing the Black Lives Matter movement and the Black community for not expressing support for Jewish people after the terrorist attacks on Israel from Palestine. The meme will go on to read, "First they came for LGBTQ and I stood up, because love is love. Then they came for immigrants and I stood up, because families belong together. Then they came for the Black community and I stood up, because Black Lives Matter. Then they came for me, but I stood alone because I am Jew." This post was met with much criticism, calling out Schumer for her past jokes, which many have considered were racist. Users on Twitter would go on to respond to Schumer's post by saying, "So Amy Schumer thinks that being an ally is transactional, and that she, a white woman of immense privilege, has been persecuted far more than anyone, including Black people? Bro, the effing delusion. Amy Schumer has long been an explicit racist. Then she has the gall to post this white tears nonsense. Amy Schumer is wild for framing herself as an activist for marginalized groups when she has made a career out of saying wildly racist things. Amy Schumer must not live in reality, because what the F? I'm leaving room for people's pain, especially right now, but that was hideous and self-serving. Let's keep it 100, Amy. As a queer Black woman, I've seen you run from supporting us more than practically or actively helping us." Now, in addition to the meme, Schumer would also repost a clip of former NBA player Amari Stoudemire, who would express a similar opinion about the Black Lives Matter movement.
And Shalaki, and see, this is what I'm saying about how you know what people really mean or what they really feel, right? Because we hide behind, because we don't be so direct, and when people talk, they be speaking indirectly. But then they had these little memes and posts that's letting you know what they really feel. Brother Michael always send a post with the black fist. I know what that means, brother. I know, like Tupac said, it's a heaven. What he says, it's a heaven. It's a heaven up there, and there's our black power. That fist mean, hey man, power to the people, man. Right? And so when people have these memes and these posts, you know what it means, right? Now she reposted a Stoudemire, video about how he felt about what was going on, and as it pertains to Black people. Watch this.
I woke up, man, this morning with some disturbing news out of Israel. That Hamas kidnapping children, putting them in cages, killing women, killing the elderly. That's some coward shit. That's cowardly. And for all y'all Black Lives Matter who ain't saying nothing, well, let me figure out exactly what happened before I say anything. Fuck you. Figure out what? It ain't never been cool to kidnap kids and put them in cages. It ain't never been cool to kill women and elderly. Never been. No matter where you from, what you represent, what tribe you for, it don't matter.
Why did he say what tribe you and he cut it? He caught himself. All right, because for those who don't know, Stoudemire had been on a lot of these Israelite channels, right? Not a lot, but he been on a few of them, right? He done had his interview with the so-called Black Hebrew Israelites, right? And so that's why I say no matter what tribe, and he cut it, right? Because a lot of this stuff is kind of indirectly. It's kind of throwing shade without throwing shade, right?
They ain't never been no cool. They ain't never been none that nobody supported. And then you go and hide and put the kids in front of you as a barricade. That's some coward shit. All you politicians who always have something to say on the contrary, I see you. F you. All you Black Lives Matter people who always had something to say and always supported everything else, and you quiet now, you too. Only place in the world where I can go and study Torah and eat kosher food. Only place in the world. Some coward shit, dog. And all y'all support it. You.
Hey, Stoudemire, they got kosher pork over there too, brother. You eat that too, brother? Yeah, they got kosher pork. All right, talking about you go eat kosher food, man. Yeah, they eat kosher pork too, brother. Do you cleanse the pork?
My mama, we don't respect none of y'all for that. Peace.
The caption for Stoudemire read, "For all y'all Black Lives Matter who ain't saying nothing or let me figure out exactly what happened before I say anything, F you. Figure out what? It ain't never been cool to kidnap kids." It seems as though sides are split when it comes to this heartbreaking story, and the plea for others to speak out on the issue is aiding more controversy and division. So what do you guys think about Amy's post? And do you think the Black community should be more vocal about the current war happening between Israel and Hamas? Let's talk about it more in the comments below and stay up to date for the...
So that's Amy Shumaya. What do y'all think about that, man? Does Black folks have a obligation? We know we go through all this Black Lives Matter. We know what we stand with the Black Lives Matter. Everybody might have different opinions of what the Black Lives Matter movement, what it represent, who it represent, but we're not going into that. But does she have a point? Should Black folks, take a part of what's going on in Israel? And why is all the aim towards Black people? What do y'all think? What do y'all think about her comment?
It's like, it's just funny, hearing people talk about all these atrocities. When all this stuff don't happen to us. For 400 years, and they tell us to get over it. You dig what I'm saying?
Okay.
It might be okay. It's sad seeing them kids and all that, being killed. But man, our people fed the alligator. I seen the picture of a brother, man. He was shot over 100 times, and they set him on fire. You can see the fire through the holes in their body. But what going on now? We don't have a dog in the fight. Both of them fighting over land that ain't even theirs. At the end of the day, when you want to sum it up. But it is written, so shall it be done, man. Oh, but I hear.
Yeah, kind. What do y'all other brothers think, man? What do y'all think? Her point that she made about the Black Lives Matter, she stood with the LB. And that's another thing about Israel, man. Like, the majority of those in Israel is not a practice. They're not a Orthodox Jew, right? They non-practice Jewish people, right? They don't really believe in what's so-called the religious aspect of Judaism. They don't really deal with the Torah. They don't deal with the text. That's why I support y'all in these things. Why? Because she even though she's claiming to be Jewish, but she don't really follow the Torah or the Tanakh. She don't really follow that because she's not Orthodox, man. Any one of y'all brothers got anything else to say about her comments?
Yeah, I was saying I was saying too, we don't have a dog in the fight, and even if Joker stood up with you, that's all they could do is stand up with you. All they could do is, hold some signs to go and parade around with you if that's what you want, or say we got Israel in our prayers and put it and change the social media Facebook page. Outside of that, that's all the support that we can actually show. But the feeling, I can't, and a lot of us, I'm sure I'm not alone, just can't have that feeling. There's no place on this earth that I'm attached to like that. There's really no place on earth I call home like that. where I can have that pride that they have for their people and for their country or whatever. It's hard to relate to it. It's hard to, but I understand it though. I do understand it, though I don't have that same feeling. But I do understand it, you know, where these folks, you know, they feel like they actual family is being killed out here. Not just some people, but the actual family is being attacked. And it's a sensitive thing, you know. So a lot of people are talking out of emotion, you know what I'm saying, out of emotion that's being fueled from, you know, the things that are going on over there. But in my opinion, neither one is right. It's business. It's business as usual. You can't take a side because both of them wrong. So you can't take a side. It's just business as usual, man. The strongest survive. And that's how my brain operates. It just is what it is. Either you gonna fight and get your land back, or you gonna go on back further down. You just gotta go on further down and rebuild. And try to get yourself together that way. But or you fight and die. Liberty or death. But I
Yeah, Karen. I took the liberty of finding out what is a Jew, because they throw that word around loosely. You know, we heard Michael said it, and we heard Amy says, because I am Jew. And so the word Jew, this is what Jew is. Jew are a name after Judah and are primarily descended from it. The Hebrew Bible depict the kingdom of Judah as a sorcerer to the kingdom, United Kingdom of Israel, a term denoting the United monarchy. Somebody read this thing. I can't even read today. God damn. Okay, what y'all see it?
monarchy.
Yeah, come man. I'm tripping today, man. Yeah, read that for me, one of y'all brothers.
It says
Jews are named.
Go ahead. You good.
The Jews are named after Judah and are primarily descended from it. The Hebrew Bible depicts the kingdom of Judah as a successor to the United Kingdom of Israel, a term denoting the united monarchy under biblical kings Saul, David, and Solomon, and covering the territory of Judah and Israel.
And Judah and Israel, the water, man. I don't know what going on today, but that's what the word Jew means, right? That's what the word Jew mean. And so we throw these terms around loosely, but it says the Bible depicts that the kingdom of Judah as it, right? And so this is what, when you look at the word Jew, is a Jew are named after Judah. That's where the word Jew come from, Judah, which is head of the southern kingdom, right? We can get more into that, right? So we're gonna go into this other, remove that one, and we're gonna go into this other video real quick. Stop sharing that. This other video real quick about how they feeling right now. Let's see. I'm gonna see what y'all think about this. Fair use, and fair use.
Judith Varney Shorer. She's a former Israeli consul general who was operating out of Atlanta. She was one of the main people saying that the biggest problem that they had was young black people in the United States. But don't worry, they've got some black leaders on the payroll.
The major problem of Israel is with the young generation of the black community. The problem of Israel is with the young generation of the black community. Black is with the young generation of the black community.
This was an Israeli government official who was saying this, not some low-level operative or some rogue member of their diplomatic corps. This was a senior member of their administrative government who was saying this on American soil. Their biggest problem wasn't Hamas or Hezbollah or the Palestinian Authority or Syria or even Iran. She said that Israel's biggest problem was young black people in the United States.
With the young generation of the black community.
I gotta. Okay, and I took the liberty to go and watch that full clip in its full context, right? Sometimes you can get sound bites and you can be misled, right? So I went and took the liberty and listened to the whole video, and what she was really saying is that that they don't have a they need to reach out more to the black youth, and it's puzzling because I'm trying to figure out why. Why is it so important for Israel to have this relationship with the black youth, right? With black people, period. Like, you see everybody coming at black people. Like, where is, the so-called Jewish people is not really connected in their eyes to all white people. Why the venom? Why are they just aiming towards the black youth of black people? What is the disconnect between Israel and the Jewish people? All right, why are they trying their darnest to connect with our people? What do y'all brothers think? Why y'all think they trying so hard to connect with our people? And the brother said they hate us because they ain't us. All right. So what is the big deal? Right? Why are they trying so hard to connect with Israel? What y'all think? I'm gonna get some text real quick. Let me get some text real quick. Stop sharing this. And let's get this. You got something, brother? I'm gonna get this Joel real quick, and then I'm gonna get the X.
I don't know, man. To be honest, maybe because we the only ones that probably would deal with them. We the only ones probably that they know that, you can gather these folks up, and they'll probably be on your side. So I think that's more so what it is. They don't really have a side, so they'll side with anybody, just like we up here siding with Palestine. A lot of us siding with Palestine. So you like that third wheel. So we can get these jokers on our side, we can get this youth on our side and try to change their minds, then we can have somebody on our side, because I don't know if it's called like the right wing. But like them folks that attacked that building, that attacked the White House, they ain't messing with no Jews. They ain't messing with no little hats. And I would like to see their angle, their side. What are they saying? I might search around and see what these what they call them folks, man. What were them folks' name that chart? The good old boys. The good old, see what they saying about what's going on over there. But yeah, that's the only thing I can see. Maybe they see the only somebody that'll probably deal with them and have some empathy and sympathy for them. But yeah, I don't really know.
Hey, it's like it.
Go ahead.
The Cleveland ain't started, huh?
Hey, man.
But I mean,
it's no right or wrong answer there.
one thing that the world can look at is the fight of our people, bro. Mm-hmm. That's why a lot of people ride the coattail of civil rights. We get leapfrogged in that thing, but everybody else can come in under it and, slide right on in. But at the end of the day, when it comes to fighting, cause we ain't never got nothing from voting. We always had to fight and tell stuff, and speak loud, man. We ain't never got nothing from voting. So when people look at us, they like, man, That them people. And they right, we are. But I yield.
Kind. Let's get that Joel 2:27. We're gonna read down a little bit. Joel 2:27, Baba Kashah. We're gonna read all the way to the end. And so then we're gonna get it also in Acts 2:17 as well. And see what Acts, what they was gleaning from the text when they said this, right? So let's get Joel 2:27 and read all the way to the end.
Come. It's the book of Joel, chapter 2, verse 27.
Okay.
And ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel, and that I am the Lord your God, and none else. And my people shall never be ashamed.
Mm-hmm.
And it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy. Your old men shall dream dreams, your young men shall see visions. And also upon the servants and upon the handmaids in those days will I pour out my spirit. And I will show wonders in the heavens and in the earth, blood and fire and pillars of smoke. The sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood before the great and the terrible day of the Lord come. And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be delivered. For in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem shall be deliverance, as the Lord hath said, and in the remnant who the Lord shall call.
And in the remnant who the Lord shall call. That's why it's important to know who Israel is in the last days. The spirit of the Lord is upon you. Right? When Christ was in that John 4, man, when he said the spirit of God is upon me, right? He anointed me to teach the gospel. And so when God put this spirit in the last days, he said, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, your old men shall dream dreams. And ironically, when you look at this movement of the Hebrew Israelites, it's more of a young person movement. Like you see a lot of these camps be young folks, man. And sometimes we might do some correction or whatever, but this is the spirit of the Lord, man. Only the spirit of the Lord can get these young boys from sagging their pants, man. Stop smoking weed, man. Only the spirit of God can do that. And so it might not always look pretty, but when you look at, that scripture, I think it's in Jeremiah 28, it says, goes into the part that, before the Most High always gave prophesied many kingdoms. Let me get that precept real quick. So sometimes it might look funny because, we see, especially when you've been in this truth for a minute, sometimes you can look at some of this stuff that's going on and look at that it's that it looked funny, but all this of the Lord, man, whether we agree with it or not, this is the Most High, and sometimes it's gonna take fire to cleanse it, man. Let's get that. It says, is it 28 or is it 30? I ain't been in this precept. Hey man, when you come away from the precept packages, man, you get the precepts. Let me see. 30, is it 30 or 16? One of y'all, brother, it's 28 though. I believe it's 28. Brother Fee, you remember that precept about how the Lord sent out prophets and they prophesied against many kingdoms? I know it's no what, it might be right. I think it's 28. Yep, here you go, right here. It says Jeremiah 28 and verse 8. It says, the prophet that has been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. The prophet which prophets of peace, when the word of the prophet shall come to pass, then shall that prophet be known that the Lord have truly sent him. And so, we, it's always, the prophets of old always prophesize against destruction. They always, prophesize to the nations. Daniel, prophesied to Nebuchadnezzar and told him what was going to happen in the last days. And, and so sometimes we look at this thing and say, well, man, Israel tripping. And some, don't get me wrong, some of these brothers, man, they wave on the deep end and it ain't the Lord. But some of it, I mean, a lot of it is of God. We just gotta wait to see how this thing gonna play out. All right. Gotta just wait to see how it gonna play out. So this Acts 2:27. Is it 2:27? Let's see. Shalaki, I think it's Acts 2:27. Make sure I'm looking at the right precept. I think it's Acts 2:17. My bad. It's Acts 2:17. I went too far down. Okay. 17. And it shall come to pass in the last days, said God, I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your young man shall see visions, and your old man shall dream dreams. And on my servant and on my handmaids I will pour out in those days of my spirit, and they shall prophesy. Right? And so this is the same thing that in Acts they gleaning from that Joel 2:27, because this is what you start to see in the last days. It's a lot of prophesying going on. The Most High, it ain't that we have the spirit to prophesy. It's the Most High have to give us the spirit to see things, as it's starting to move forward in the text. We got it all figured out, but we moving in the right direction. And so this is what's going on in these last days. That's why we got to get our house in order. That's why we got to be doing things, according to the text. I was talking to a brother the other day, and look, man, it ain't in this captivity. It's not meant for us to get it right. Let me get a precept real quick. In this captivity, I know we say, well, ain't nobody can keep the law, right? But I got this in my apocrypha. But when I'm gonna read it in my apocrypha, right? But when you understand what the Lord said when we in captivity, what was gonna happen, right? It was never meant for us to be doing it, everything, keeping the law 100%. Why? Because the Most High put us in this captivity, and he scattered us on the four corners of the earth for a reason. He knew where we was gonna be at, right? And so watch the Solomon prayer. Let's get to Solomon, right? Let's get how Solomon prayed. Then we gonna get to Baruch real quick. One of y'all brothers give me that at First Kings. Is it 1 Kings 8:48? And that's what it is. 1 Kings 8:48. Give me that real quick. 1 Kings 8:48. Start at verse 46.
In this book of 1 Kings, chapter 8, verse 46.
Okay.
If they sin against thee, for there is no man that sinneth not, and thou be angry with them, and deliver them to the enemy, so that they carry them away captives unto the land of the enemy, far or near. Yet if they shall bethink themselves in the land whither they were carried captives, and repent, and make supplication unto thee in the land of them that carried them captives, saying, we have sinned and have done perversely, we have committed wickedness, and so return unto thee with all their heart and with all their soul in the land of their enemies, which led them away captive, and pray unto thee toward their land, which thou gavest unto their fathers, the city which thou hast chosen, and the house which I have built for thy name.
Go ahead.
Then hear thou their prayer and their supplication in heaven, thy dwelling place, and maintain their cause. And forgive thy people that have sinned against thee, and all their transgressions wherein they have transgressed against thee, and give them compassion before them who carried them captive, that they may have compassion on them. For they be thy people and thine inheritance, which thou broughtest forth out of Egypt, from the midst of the furnace of iron, that thine eye may be open unto the supplication of thy servant, and unto the supplication of thy people Israel, to hearken unto them, and all that they call for unto thee. For thou didst separate them from among all the people of the earth, to be thine inheritance, as thou speakest by the hand of Moses thy servant, when thou broughtest our father out of Egypt, O Lord God. And it was so that when Solomon had made an end of praying all this prayer and supplication unto the Lord, he arose from before the altar of the Lord, from kneeling on his knees, with his hands spread up to heaven.
See how he was there? He was kneeling on his knees with his hands spread up to heaven. And so he was praying for the children of Israel in the captivity that they will come back to the Lord. If they come back to you, if they show supplication and hear their prayers. So it was prophesied that we was going to be in this land of captivity. It was prophesied that Israel was going in captivity, and people were like, well, could nobody keep the law? Yeah, it wasn't really a design for you to keep the law. It was designed for you to have the desire to keep the law. Right? Something we couldn't do when we was in our land. Now in our enemy's land, are you gonna keep the law? While you got all this liberty, while you yet got liberty, are you gonna do what I say? Right? To prove, let me get that precept real quick, to prove whether or not you will keep his laws or not. This is you're under the biggest test known to mankind, Israel. To prove whether you're gonna keep God's laws or not. Whether you're gonna get tired of wearing fringes, whether you're gonna get tired of reading your Bible, whether you're gonna get tired of taking your notes to get stronger in the text, you know what I mean? Or you gonna start falling more and more in the world, man. So you right now under the biggest test known to mankind, right? So let me get that in Judges real quick, right? Because the Most High will put you under immense scrutiny, man, just to see if you're gonna keep the commandments or not. Let's see this real quick. Okay, so let's get this. I'm gonna start at Judges 2:20. And the anger of the Lord was hot against Israel. And he said, because that this people have transgressed my covenant, which I command their fathers, and have not hearkened to my voice, I also will not henceforth drive out any from before them of the nations which Joshua left when he died, that through them I may prove Israel whether they will keep the ways of the Lord to walk therein as their father did keep it or not. So all this liberty we have is a setup. It's a setup. It's a setup, Israel. Yeah. All right. Don't keep the law. Don't keep God's commandments. Right? It's a setup. Let me get one more precept. It's a setup, man. So if you get tired of man, this ain't no Christ, the land is coming. Man, you need to check it. You need to check your spirit, man. Because that's prophesied, man. The Lord have delayed is coming. Now you're getting tired because that 400-year prophecy didn't work out like you thought it was going to work out, because Christ said, don't no man know the time. But no, we ignore the text. We thought we know more than our Messiah. He said, no man know the time. He said, stay up constantly. Stay in supplication constantly. Watching well as pray, man. Fast. Because no man know the time. But if the watchman of the house knew the day when his Lord was coming, he'd stay up all night. Baruch 2:28. As thou speakest by thy servant Moses in the day when thou didst command him to write the law before the children of Israel, saying, if you will not hear my voice, surely this very great multitude shall be turned into a small number among the nations where I will scatter thee. Prophesy Israel was going to be scattered. And all the captivities you see in the diaspora. You've seen it in the Babylonians, you've seen it during the time of the Persian Medes, you've seen it in the time of the Greeks, you've seen it in the time of the Romans, and you've seen it during the time of the slave trade, the sub-Saharan slave trade. It's always been a diaspora, right? brothers scattered on the four corners. There's always been some kind of diaspora. That's why in Acts 2, you see them coming from all these lands, because they were scattered, right? But it was going to be another scattering according to Christ, right? It says, for I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people, but in the land of their captivity, they shall remember themselves. And that's the same thing Solomon prayed. Let them remember themselves in the land of their captivity, right? It said, and shall know that I am the Lord their God, and I will give them an ear, and heart and ears to hear, and they shall praise me in the land of their captivity, and and think upon my name, and return from their stiff neck and from their wicked deeds, for they shall remember the ways of their fathers which sinned before the Lord. And I will bring them again into the land which I promised with the oath unto their fathers Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and they shall be Lord of it. And I will increase them, and they shall not be diminished. And I will make an everlasting covenant with them to be their God. They shall be my people, and I will no more drive my people Israel out of the land that I have given them. And so in the land of our captivity, this is the period of rethinking ourselves. So when people when nobody can keep the law, it was never meant or designed for you to be able to follow the law of Moses to its totality. That's why we have the law of Christ. That's why we have that grace, not to do what we want to do, but the things that is not doing correctly, Christ is the fulfillment of what we're not doing correctly. Like going to Jerusalem on every feast day. Christ is the fulfilling of that. I am the Passover lamb. I am that. But it's going to come a time where those feasts, where those sacrifices will happen when the return of Christ. But right now, he is that for us. And so that's all I had, man. I just wanted to go into, I had a big delay. It kind of threw me off my game a little bit. But all praise and glory go to the Most High God. Y'all brothers got some to add in. I think I heard one brother's click in. Y'all got something to say?
Hey, Salakia, I just had some more weight to put on that scattering of our people. This that Babylon and Timbuktu. It says this prophecy and all the residue of the prophecies contained in Deuteronomy 28:15-16 befell the black Jews after they disobeyed the laws of God. Many nations transported the Jews into slavery, and the sons of Israel transmigrated to every continent. I yield.
Okay, and it is a diaspora, man. The Bible speak of Israel being scattered, and it also speak of Israel coming back with the return of Christ. It's gonna be a gathering, as like he did the first time when we came out the wilderness. It's gonna be another wilderness, man. Any one of y'all other brothers got anything to say to add in before we get up out of here, man?
Nah, I'm good. All good, class.
Yeah, man. Sorry about the delay, man. I don't know what was going on with the internet, man, but all praise to the Most High. Brother Dion, you good, brother?
Con, I'm good, man. And another only other thing I wanted to bring out was since the majority of the Jews live in the ghetto, what does the word ghetto mean? I see a lot of cats bring that out in camps.
Let's get that word ghetto. Go ahead, Shlaki. I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah. That definition will say a lot as far as who the real Jews are, But from my understanding, I think in the Bible dictionary, it says something to the effect of it's usually where the Jews dwell.
Yeah, that's where it's at. Let's see.
Yeah, so. But good class, man. I you.
Kind. All praises, brother. And like I say, man, it's just a food for thought, man. Like I say, this is our opinion, man. We not spewing no hatred towards nobody, man. It's just that we gotta lift up Israel. And we gotta acknowledge who Israel is. It's no such thing as replacement theology. You know, from beginning to end, it's consistent about Israel being a people that God chosen, whether you like it or not. And if it's nothing else, man, I hope y'all got something from it. Sorry for the delay, man, but all praise and glory, honor goes to the Most High God. Don't forget to like and subscribe here and on Brother Phineas' channel, man. Prince of Power Israelite on Wednesdays at 7:30. Mighty brother be coming in the spirit of the Lord, man. So if it's nothing else, man, y'all have a blessed Shabbat and Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabbat Barakatah. Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.